Hey everyone, this is Miss Gregory. I'm just making a short video for you today to show you how basically to check out an ebook in MackinVIA. So remember, you go to the URL cces.mackinvia.com and you have to log in. So remember, your username is your school Gmail address, all typed out. And password for students is your lunch or ID number, no letters. And the password for teachers is the word Cavalier, lowercase. So type that in and press submit, and then you can access the Mackin home screen. So remember, your main toolbar is here on the left. If you know what you're looking for, you can click on any of these categories. You can type search terms in the search bar up here. I'm just going to click on the red groups button though to show you that I have made some new groups for you to view. Since we have some new ebooks and audiobooks, those are all right here under new. So I'm going to click on that just to show it to you. You can see the screen the way I have the view set up. You see icons, so you can see the covers of the books. You can change that right up here. If you press that button, you get a list view. And that's kind of nice because you still see the cover, but you have a short summary as well. So I'm just going to scroll down and pick one. Athlete activism. So you have some choices here. If you read the description and you think you want to use it, first of all, it tells you it's available. And in this one says multi-user ebook. And that's important because that means that everybody here could have the same ebook checked out at the same time. So multi-user, so that makes sense. Some ebooks work just like print books and they're single user and only one person can have it checked out at a time. And if that were true, it would say out right here for checked out. So if you're interested in this ebook, you can click on open now just to kind of browse through it and get an idea if it's actually going to be useful to you or not. You could click on add to favorites if you want to remember this ebook for later, or you could go ahead and check it out. So I'm going to do both of those things and just show you. So it tells you when it expires. So if you don't end up actually returning the electronic item, it's not a big deal. It'll just disappear out of your account when the due date comes around. So now that I've done that, I go up here and you should see your name in the upper right-hand corner, and you all have a backpack, so that's your account. So you click on that. And this is where you can see that favorites list that you built. And I have a few things in here already. So that's great because then you don't have to search for the same things every time you open Mackin. And I'm going to click on it again and go to checkouts. So here's the book that I checked out. It tells me when it's due. And then I'm going to open now from here. So you'll see that it launched the ebook in a new tab in my browser. So this is the ebook. So you can scroll through it using your arrow keys on your keyboard, or you can click on the arrow buttons here. These are the individual chapters, of course, the table of contents. So if you click in this upper left-hand corner, that's where you can actually browse through the book a little bit easier. So you can click on table of contents, book info. Here's citation. That's really important. You can copy and paste the citation for the book. It's really easy to do. So we are going to act like we want to go to chapter 6. So you saw how I just clicked on that and it immediately took me to chapter 6. So that's really cool. You can also make the font larger and smaller. You can see one page at a time. And you can have it read to you. Now, because this is an ebook, it's going to sound like a robot. It's not going to sound that great, but you still have that option if you prefer to hear the audio. So when I'm in here, say this chapter is really important and I want to bookmark it. That's what these little bookmark icons are here. So you can do that. And okay, I want to remember this page. Say you found a really important quote that you want to remember for your project or your paper or whatever. I'm going to press down on my cursor when I'm hovering over a word, and you see how it pops up a certain color. Then I'm just going to keep my cursor pressed down and drag until I've got what I want. So I have a selection highlighted here. So what you do is click on it then, and you get some options. So I can change the color if I want, and then I go back. I can make it underlined instead of highlighted. And here's what's really important. This little sticky note icon, This is when you can type your own notes. So if you're taking notes for a class, maybe you're working on paraphrasing, or you just want to make a note for yourself of why you highlighted this, why is it important, you can do that here. And then just press save. And then you press save, so you're done. And there's what I typed, so you X out of that. So what you notice now is there's a little sticky note icon in the margin here. So that reminds me that I typed a note there in case I forget. And I click on it and it opens back up, and I can edit it some more. I can do whatever I want. So that's great. So by the time you do that in some of your ebook, you can go back up to the menu here and click on Notebook. And it's going to give me a list here, and I've only done it once, but it gives you a list of every note or highlight that you've taken in your ebook. And if you click on bookmarks, it shows every page that you've bookmarked in the whole ebook. And you click on it and it takes you there. So I can do another example for you real quick. I'm pretending like this is really important as well, and I really want this quote. I'm just going to highlight the quote. I'm not going to type any notes. So I've already forgotten the first one I did, so I want to remind myself. So I go back to the notebook. Oh, here it is. That's right. That's what I highlighted. So really, really easy to use. And there is a way that you can export all of your notes that you've taken to your Google Drive. So to do that, I'm going to go back to my original Mackin tab at the top of the screen and go back to my backpack. And I'm going to go to my notebook here. And here's where it's going to list every note and every highlight I've taken in any of the ebooks that I've worked in. You can see I did another example down here. So I'm going to click on the title here, and this is where you have some options. So here, you can edit your notes further in here, and here's your export. So I can save these notes to my Google Drive. Then the pop-up is blocked, of course. So we'll change that real quick and do it again and give it permission to access your Google Drive. And yes, I will allow that. And so now it says uploading and then file saved. So it doesn't necessarily look like it did anything. So you have to just be careful. Don't assume that nothing happened. Now I'm going to go to my Google Drive, and it should be a Google Doc that is the title of the Google Doc is the title of the ebook that I was in. So it's right here, Athlete Activism Notes. So I'm going to open that up. And here is my highlighted text. Here's my highlighted text and the notes that I typed. And then it even gives you the date and the time that you did it. So super, super cool. There are times when you do this and you may not see the highlighted text, and that's just a publisher copyright issue. Most of the time, though, it shows up, and it reminds you also of the book where you were taking notes and a little summary of the book. So all of that's here for you in your Google Drive. So that's kind of a lot of information all at once, but it just gives you a little bit of a feel of what you can do in Mackin in terms of taking notes. And I hope that it's easy for you to use in that way. And please come see me if you need any help.